Hello everybody, welcome to your hot takes for EFL Championship round 7, and we're looking for some clarity. We're looking for somebody, anybody, a group of teams. Go and take this by the scruff of the neck at the start of the first 3-game week of the season. And what do we get? 7 draws. I think that is quite symptomatic of the Championship still not settling into a discernible pattern as we approach the end of September. International break number 2 is coming. Hey, maybe it's going to stay like this all season. You lot keep telling me it's wide open. Middlesbrough stay top of the table. They are 4 points clear. Coventry sneak up into second spot. Charlton and Ipswich are the only back-to-back winners in the entire division. That's what 7 draws in one round will do for your winning streaks. And Sheffield United finally get themselves a win. Taking them until round 7. Let me know if you were at a championship game or you were across it or watching on TV or anything like that. Get your views down there in the comments. I will give you mine on each and every game. We'll start at the top. Middlesbrough are still there. They are still undefeated. 5 wins, 2 draws. They're rocking 2.4 points per game. So really, really good for Boro. They have obviously drawn the past 2 away games, so you can argue 1 win in 3 if you're being churlish, but you should also say they've shown kind of good resilience and good durability in both of those games. We were behind at Preston, weren't they? Behind in this one at Southampton, and it ended 1-1. I suppose the other good news as well, second game running, Sene off the bench to score. Not entirely sure what happened there on the near post to the keeper. Does it take a deflection? Does he get taken by surprise? Bit of a strange goal. Boro fans will not care as Sene wheeled away in front of them to celebrate. Armstrong had got the goal in the first half. And yeah, Boro looking good. If they go ahead and they beat Stoke, who are a key rival at the moment in 3rd place in midweek. They'll go on to 20 points from 8 games and still be undefeated. So it's all looking good for Middlesbrough. And let's not forget, Southampton are, despite the fact they're not playing very well, a year 1 parachute team. And Boro have now gone away, got that one ticked off. In fact, it's been a fairly rough couple of fixtures, I think, in terms of Boro. And maybe some moneyed opponents, maybe they've got them at a good time in the season. But Boro are our standouts, and they are 4 points clear up at the top. I said Southampton can't get going. They really can't get going, can they? They're winless in 6, which I keep reminding you takes us back to opening day, where it was a pretty fortuitous win. Now, I can go all in on saying that. Now, they haven't won since then over Wrexham on opening day. We did it as a watch-along, late win. And under Will still no click here. They're in the bottom 6. And I've got to say, we did point this out when we did our next 5 games thing. Lot of travel, lot of away games. Remember, they went to Liverpool in the EFL Cup, didn't they? They now go to Sheffield United. That feels like bad timing. And Derby to round out the 3-game week. You tell me in the comments, are we going to get a Southampton win this week? If we don't, you would imagine they will be lower than their current 19th place, unless the teams below them completely stink it out. But not really happening yet for Southampton. Get in the comments there. Southampton 1, Boro 1. It was Coventry 3, Birmingham 0. We did this on the watch-along today. So if you want any of my reactions to any second of this game, you can see that in the archives on the Benjamin Bloom football channel. Coventry slide up into 2nd place. They too are undefeated and have a pretty absurdly good goal total. 18 goals in 7 games. They've got more goals than Boro have got points. You'd rather have the points, wouldn't you? But you know what I'm saying. They've been flying in at Coventry, and here come another 3. I suppose the key moment in this game is the red card. It's when it really swings into Coventry's favour and it turns into a game that's going to kind of be tight, and Coventry are either going to win by a single goal or something, or Birmingham are going to come back in the second half. But yeah, very, very good Coventry. I mean, I've said it a lot through 2025. They've been super, super consistent. And when you factor in that you expect the parachute teams are going to be powerful, but they don't have any winning momentum, do they? The sides that have the most winning momentum are Birmingham and Wrexham and Charlton coming up from League One, and then Coventry, who lost in the playoffs. I suppose you can factor Bristol City into that, the other playoff losers. But Coventry have kept it going. The squad isn't vastly different, and they just look pretty consistent. And in a season where the door looks open, and I'm leading off these videos by saying, someone take it by the scruff of the neck, go out and get it. Coventry go and stick, I don't know, if we're at round 15 and they're up and over 30 points, that might be quite a decisive start to the campaign. And they did what they needed to today after the red card, scored early in the second half, and then made it 3 to round this off. Where are they going? Millwall in midweek. Coventry. I think they're away twice, actually. They go to Sheffield Wednesday. They've already got 3 points. Draw and a win there. 7 from the 3-game week. That'd do, wouldn't it? That'd take them to 17 from 9 games. And they would be just off the 2 points per game standard. Hey, could go and get all 9. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Birmingham. So, we were a bit concerned about Birmingham a couple of weeks ago that they weren't making any chances, and the only wins they'd had were a single shot on goal against Oxford and a really late win, a turnaround at Blackburn. But then they had that win last week against Swansea where, yeah, they won late, but they made a load of chances. So you're like, okay, fine. We're less worried about Birmingham anymore. And then in this one again, yeah, I know... red card, I get it. Red card changes everything on 42 minutes as well. But it's another game now where Birmingham's 0 shots on target. So that's 3 defeats in 4 for Blues. And in those 3 defeats, you can now, if you take the Swansea game out where they did attack well, you can now say 1 shot on target combined in those 3 games. They're not doing enough going forward. Bit unlucky. Duke's got injured in the warm-up, so whatever plans they'd worked on with him went out the window in the warm-up. But yeah, 11th place Birmingham and 3 defeats in 4. Yes, they have got 3 victories, so they've shown that they can win games, but I think we need to see a little bit more than nice pretty patterns and passing and control up to a point followed by 0 shots on target. They've got to get the likes of Gray, and it was Dykes up front. Today, Stansfield, just not in the game. They've got to be a bit better in the final third, Birmingham. But I suppose with today, you can play the red card changed everything card. What Birmingham got up for the remainder of the 3-game week? Sheffield Wednesday at home. Wrexham away. I think we're across that on the watch along on Friday, so we'll get another look at Birmingham then. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. It was Stoke 1, Norwich 1. So Stoke dropped from 2nd down into 3rd out of the top 2. 1 win in 4 now for Stoke. Couple of defeats in there as well. And it's very Mark Robins, isn't it? It's all 0s and 1s in those games. 1-0 wins, 1-0 defeats, 1-1 draw indeed today. All very tight. It looked as though if there was going to be a winner in this one, it was going to come late and it was going to go Stoke's way. But hey, Norwich are actually quite durable. I know the Norwich fans aren't massively happy with the way they're playing, but against Coventry, they got absolutely peppered and came away with a point. They are unbeaten away from home. Thomas got the equaliser. He has got 6 goal contributions already. That's been a hell of a start from Sorba coming up to international break number 2. Seems to have really found his feet at Stoke. It's a big game, isn't it, in midweek? Stoke away at Middlesbrough. You feel, don't give us another draw, for God's sake. We've been talking too much about draws here 7 obviously this round. Either side can put a statement win on. If Stoke can go to Boro and take that unbeaten record off them, that would be something really significant. And Blackburn at the moment might look there for the taking with Robbins and Stoke. But I think they're going to look at that as a missed opportunity today against Norwich, who will be, I think, happier with the point. Liam Manning said he wasn't particularly happy with the way his team kind of behaves when they've got in front, and they're a bit too nervous and dropping back a little bit more. It's affecting them a bit much. As I say, still unbeaten away from home. It felt like they kind of nicked a goal and held out in the second half. That's exactly what they did up at Coventry. Even more pronounced there, because it took Coventry right until stoppage time to equalise. Norwich have West Brom at home, and then it is the big one, the East Anglian derby coming up this Sunday to round out the 3-game week. Norwich will go into that game undefeated away from home and undefeated against Ipswich, as we know, since 2009. God. Get down there in the comments. Stoke 1, Norwich 1. Another draw, and it was 0-0. Preston 0, Bristol City 0. Preston stay undefeated at home. These two were 4th and 5th going into the round. Leicester just nipped in between the two of them. When you look at it on the surface, Preston's keeper is man of the match. 19 shots conceded as well. So even though Preston have been very decent at home, it looks like the whiz-bang wallop, crash-bang wallop of Gerhard Struber's pressing might have seen Bristol City be the better side, but they still got out of Dodge with a clean sheet, didn't they? Preston. In terms of Bristol City, Mehmeti, I don't know how he's got out of this game without scoring his clear 1v1. That was a huge chance. And then a big save by Iverson. In another 1v1, Mehmeti could have won the game. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. They're actually top of the away table, Bristol City, because they had that big away win to pad that on the opening day, didn't they? They won 4-1 at Sheffield United. But they're quite strange, because there's been loads of goals in a lot of their games, but they've also had 2-0. So messes with my brain a little bit how that is happening. Bit of bad news as well. Jason Knight stepped out of this one, which Struber said is a rarity. You wonder whether he may or may not be about for the visit of Ipswich in mid-week. But both of these sides stop in the top 6. And come on, Bristol City, Preston, if we get to international break number 2, and they're both in the top 6, they'll be well happy with that. Get your thoughts in on that lot. Boro, Southampton, Coventry, Birmingham, Stoke, Norwich, Preston, Bristol City. Let's move on. As West Brom 1, Leicester 1 on Friday night. We also did that as a watch-along. Leicester nick an equaliser right at the very, very, very end. You kind of knew it was coming. I thought a bit lucky, actually, Leicester, in the end. I think the way it was panning out, it looked like West Brom had weathered the storm, and then they missed those couple of chances. But when those chances went a begging, you kind of knew Leicester were going to get something, and Reed volleys it across, bounces in off Nat Phillips. I've got to say, I look at that team, I look at the wingers, central midfield of Samari and Winks. They've got big units at centre-back. There's a lot of quality in there. I think the manager's good. I think it's going to trend up for Leicester. And they're already in 5th, and they've only lost 1 game. So even though, it wasn't the best in this one, I can see this going right, just on the basis of Cifuentes in the past at QPR and the quality in the Leicester squad. I'm sticking out my neck there. Parachute team's got good players. Yeah, right, Ben, we get it. But I think it's going to be okay for Leicester. And West Brom, to move on to them, they've just been a bit hapless recently, haven't they? What is it for Baggies? Loss, draw. And we covered the Middlesbrough game for West Brom, where You know, it feels like the big moments in games are going against West Brom at the moment. Either chances for them are not going in, chances against them are going in. And the timing of these goals, particularly in that Middlesbrough game and in this one here, and then Derby obviously going to Hawthorns and nicking it despite West Brom having a lot of possession. It feels like they're most of the way to being a decent team. But obviously the most important bit is to play the big moments and to be good in both boxes. And yeah, that's kind of a key deficiency for West Brom at the moment. It's probably very irritating for their fans. 1 win in 5, and you're not worried about nice signs and being in games and moments going against you. You want some wins on the board, and having started so well, a bit of a disappointing drop-off for the Baggies. Charlton 3, Blackburn 0. As we mentioned, Charlton, along with Ipswich in a inconsistent bunch, are the only 2 sides with back-to-back wins. That puts Charlton on the edges there of the playoffs. Brilliant stuff. Got 7 points in 3. The Addicts, and you're looking at it, and it's set plays, energy, pressing, clean sheet. It's pure Nathan Jones vibes all over, isn't it? Could have been more, actually. They missed... I think actually at 1-0, they missed a couple of good chances, didn't they? And it did go 2-0, 3-0 in the end. And we spoke about maybe Charlton's good business in the summer getting lost in the shuffle just because of the sheer power of, you know, Birmingham and Wrexham coming up with them. But they're getting a good impact off the bench, and Bree looks like a good recruit. He's signed for the 15th time for a Nathan Jones club. He got on their score sheet. I think he put the set play in for the first goal as well. And, you know, I think he could have a big impact there like he did over at Luton. They've got back-to-back wins. And I've got to say, in the home games against Leicester and Millwall we did as a watch-along, could have got something from those as well. It could be in the top 6 now, Charlton. So 7th place I don't think flatters them. And they are the highest of the 3 promoted League One teams, despite all the pomp, circumstance and signings and headlines at Birmingham and Wrexham. So well done, Charlton. People always say to me in the comments, oh, dirty, going under the radar. I'm like, really? No one goes under the radar on this channel. But maybe to the mainstream, Charlton might be going under the radar a little bit there, and we'll happily praise them here. Of course, we've been across it the whole time. Blackburn, I mean, they've been the sympathetic figure in the news all week with the abandonment having to be replayed. But, you know, they need some results on the pitch, and, you know, the shoulda, woulda, coulda in the abandonment against Ipswich. I mean, they've got 2 wins in the last 4, but it's all L's and W's for Rovers. Pretty consistent. No draws in there. So it's stripey. So they could just come and win the next game, couldn't they? But yeah, jolly inconsistent. They're a point above the line. Of course, they do have a game in hand now as well, which kind of distorts things somewhat. But yeah, a bit hotchy-potchy, up and downy Blackburn, aren't they? Sheffield Wednesday 1, QPR 1, and the league's best win streak comes to an end. Go figure, in this week of 1-1 draws, the QPR win streak succumbs to a 1-1 draw. You've got to be really happy, though, if you're a Rangers fan. I know of all the games, you'd have probably targeted Sheffield Wednesday, given their issues off pitch. But 10 points in 4 games after losing 7-1 is pretty bloody impressive, isn't it? They would have gone into the top 4 if they'd have won this one. They got it back to 1-1, and this has been the thing at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday have been so fragile that you'd imagine the timing of that goal straight after half-time from the spot. Could they go on and win it? Grab the second? No, they could not. But QPR have very much turned around an iffy start. And Sheffield Wednesday have a point at home. It's been very toxic there. I get it from the point of view of the Wednesday fans. And I guess the key thing is, it's the first goal at home, so go figure. They actually managed to take the lead in a game, and we've seen the likes of Stoke and Bristol City go there and score early, and the game's like dead on arrival with the poor atmosphere in the stadium. I do feel that Bannon and Pedersen there, the captain and the manager, are doing them proud over this first 7 games. And I said with no hint of being patronising, Wednesday fans at any point this season, I think, will take being 1 point from survival. However, I had plenty of Wednesday fans in the watch-alongs this weekend telling me, oh, Ben, we've got 5 embargoes now. So until this club gets sold by Mr. Chansiri, then it's on a knife edge of stuff happening off pitch. At the end of every month, we're wondering about payments being made to staff and salaries being cleared and issues there. And, then there's the potential for non-payment points deductions as well. So it's all on a knife edge there. But, hey, 4 points in the last 2. They got the first win, didn't they? They got the first home goal, the first home point. So I will reiterate, even though, stop the clocks, they're getting relegated, they've been better than I thought they were going to be. Sheffield Wednesday. Swansea 1, Millwall 1. Feels like Millwall got out of dodge in this one. They scored just at the right time. I don't know, you tell me, Millwall fans, if you'd gone in 1-0 down, scored in first half stoppage time, do they come back? Swansea then buoyed and go and take it home in the second half? I don't know. Very well-timed goal. It's a Jake Cooper classic, isn't it? And the set play goes in and he heads it back across. And you might think, oh, stick big Cooper up. It's not big and it's not clever. But the chance that he actually gives Coburn, that type of service, 2 yards from goal or whatever, go and find a creative player who can lay on chances that good. Sometimes these set plays shouldn't be sniffed at. And someone like Cooper, who just over the years has been absolutely incredible from these, should not be underestimated. And Coburn felt like the Millwall fans were not feeling they were getting value for money from that big transfer fee. Good for him to grab the goal. They are so durable, aren't they? And even though it looked like Swansea in the ascendancy on this one, they get out of here. They're unbeaten away from home. They actually got 2 points per game away from home. And strangely, the old cliche about Millwall skewing better at home. Well, 8 points away from home, 3 points at home so far this season. Swansea will be disappointed, won't they? Because a lot of what they're doing is most of the way there. But they're 13th in the table and haven't won in the last 3. They are building stars, though. We keep saying that this season. Vipotnik's getting the goals. He's got 4 now, hasn't he? Ronald got another assist. I think he's got maybe 3 or 4 goal contribs as well. Maybe 3 assists and a goal or something like that. I think Vipotnik's got an assist as well. So those 2 are a good age and increasing in value and putting numbers on the board, which is great. But, yeah, got caught by a set play in first half stoppage time. So no wonder Alan Sheehan was a bit vexatious, a bit miffed in his post-match. Swansea 1, Millwall 1. Get your thoughts in on that lot. West Brom, Leicester, Charlton, Blackburn, Sheffield Wednesday, QPR, Swansea and Millwall. We'll move on to the final 4 games. Ipswich 2, Pompey 1. And I've said it, I think this will be the 3rd time I say it now. Ipswich and Charlton, the only back-to-back winners in the division, which kind of smacks of a lack of consistency across the board. Really, it's only a little short-term thing, but you normally look down the table and there's a few teams on winning runs. Ipswich, of course, would have had a defeat go in the column if the game had finished on minute 79 and the result had stood last week. But as it stands now, they've got back-to-back wins at home, back-to-back goals for Jaden Philogene. Does his normal trick, doesn't he? Comes in off the left, whips that one in the corner. 4 goals from him now in these past couple of home games. George Hurst has now got 3 goals and I suppose more importantly scored in 3 separate games as well for Ipswich. So that is good news that he's carrying the load there up top to some extent. It feels like all the parachute teams really, big work in progress. They're not quite cooking yet, are they? Ipswich interested in Egeli into the 11. Maybe they're using him now, knowing that there's an away trip to Bristol City and then that massively emotionally draining East Anglian derby coming up, and maybe that's not the game to be throwing in, and at home to Pompey at the start of a 3-game week is. But sloppy end to the game for Ipswich. Would have wanted the clean sheet and conceded a free header from a swift set play. Pack heads that one in. Pompey fans will be really pleased to see him back. So, Ipswich move into the top half. Of course, they've got the game in hand. They've got the back-to-back wins. I know it's a 5-0 the previous game, but then there was the whole Sheffield United part of that. So is it convincing yet for Ipswich? No, but they've broken the duck. They've started winning. They're in a 3-game week. And, obviously there's a fixture coming up at the weekend that, could rewrite history over the past 15, 16 years if they can get a victory in that one. Pompey, I feel a bit sorry for. Murphy obviously was really good when I did them against Southampton. He wasn't playing. Sean Essie, that goal we spoke about last week, he pulled up and the Wednesday player ran in behind him. Schmidt obviously got injured in that Southampton game, didn't he? Chaplin can't play in this game. He's embargoed because he's on loan from Ipswich. Tricky for Pompey. They are 1 win in 6, but they're well managed and they usually find their way through these tricky periods under John Mousinho. It was Wrexham 1, Derby 1. 7 points in 4 for Wrexham. They'll be a little bit disappointed. Obviously, it could have been 9 points in 4 and 3 wins in 4. They got in front in this one. O'Brien has been great for them. He's got 4 goal contributions, and I thought, O'Brien, he's a glue it together, box to box, kind of left-footed central midfielder. But then I thought, no, you're playing in a side with wing-backs that gets the ball into the box. And if you're an industrious central midfielder and you keep getting in the box, you will get goals in a team that plays the way Wrexham do. So, I went from surprise to, that actually makes some sense, doesn't it? And O'Brien's a decent player. Nice finish there. And Kabore, the right wing-back there, has 3 assists in 2 starts. So there's a sense that Wrexham are improving. And Broadhead came in. O'Brien's having an impact. Sheff is there as well. We had Dom Hyam come in. Kabore's having an impact. It's Okonkwo in goal now as well. It feels like they've found the 11 that's going to play this season. And 15th at the moment. I think they're going to, might be a slow one, but I think they're going to be moving up the table. Derby, it's just classic Eustace level durability this. They go behind in the game. 46% possession in this one. 0.64 XG, but they still don't lose. And Derby are very good at that. 1 defeat in 5. Good goal by Diaz, wasn't it? Gets out of his feet. Pings that in the top corner. Draw heavy, but we know over and again what these Eustace teams are like. They're hard to play against. He admits it. They're hard to beat. And I think they're going to trend up, but it's been a slow start. They're still in 21st, 1 place off the bottom. But before you start winning, maybe stop losing, and that's what they've done very nicely. We're going to be doing them in the watch along on Tuesday. They play Charlton. And might not be one for the purists, but it'll certainly be an interesting battle of Derby's viability versus durability, because Charlton are in form. Wrexham 1, Derby 1. It was Watford 2, Hull 1 at the Vic. And my God, did Mr. Pezzolano need a win. His approval rating has been really tanking. And I think at half-time in this one, it was as low as it had ever been, because they went in 1-0 down. Big second half, big win this one for Watford. Much, much needed. Loser, he's always good fun, isn't he? A nice no-look. I'm going in that corner. Whoop! No, I'm not. I'm going in that corner. Nice finish there with the left foot. I mean, I think if you actually keep him on the pitch and keep his head in the game, build the team around him, man. He's got the quality, but just never manages to put a whole season together, loser. Does he? Semedo, free head from a set play to complete the comeback. First win since round 2. And like I said, I did them in the watch along at Millwall on Monday. It's the first time I've seen them under Pezzolano. And it was kind of the things that people get accused of old man yells at clouds, but it was kind of the things that those people say, well, they're just passing it about in front and they've got no cutting edge and, Millwall grabbed the goal and that was the criticism. But not in this one. They went ahead and got the victory here. Hull, I suppose McBurney is a positive. He gave them the lead in this one. Smashed one against the post. Could have made it 2-0. But Hull unable to follow up that good result against Southampton. They stay in 18th. And don't know what to make of them, to be honest. Bit hodgepodgey, bit inconsistent under Jakirovic. Finally, Oxford 0, Sheffield United 1. My God, Sheffield United won a game. And Oxford's nice little splurge of points ends. Maybe it'll fix itself again. There were good signs from Oxford. They got 5 points in 3, and it felt like the team was developing for this season, and they'd had a couple of good performances. Gary Rout will be furious. They still don't have any home wins yet. Oxford, just that win, brilliant win actually at Bristol City last week, which actually didn't get to cover on the hot takes because it was on the Sunday. It felt a little bit wrong time, wrong place here, that they were sort of coming up against a pretty desperate Sheffield United side with, more quality, who were just going to do this by hook or by crook. And they managed to get the job done there at Oxford. And yeah, wow, who would have thunk it? Hey, year one parachute team there. Sheffield United playoff final losers last year. Takes them till round 7 to score a single point. O'Hare sticks this one in. I haven't seen a freeze frame of that ball when it gets cut back. Did he keep that one in? Just about. Anyway, no massive complaints from anybody there, seemingly. And O'Hare sweeps it in. Chris Wilder said, look, it's a losing team. Last game under Sellers was 5-0. You don't expect to start winning by 5-0. He's got a point. Yeah, just win by hook or by crook. Turn it around. Build some confidence. Build some morale. And you would assume Sheffield United will tick forward nicely. But both of those sides remain in the bottom 3 going in to the midweek round. There you go. There is your review, your hot takes for Championship round 7. Do you kind of agree with me that the door is wide open? Who's going to take the opportunities here? Not a massive level of consistency anywhere. We've got this hot start from Middlesbrough. We'll give them a pass. Leicester are the only parachute team anywhere near decent form, and they've drawn 3 in a row. Coventry are up there, but they've been draw heavy. Stoke and Bristol City are there. Preston are there, but there's questions on everyone, really. And then who's going to stick a winning run together? QPR were doing it. We've now got Charlton on 2 straight wins and Ipswich on 2 straight wins. It just feels we're waiting to be told what is going to be the narrative, what is going to be the story this season, unless we just Middlesbrough are just going to go away from everyone and everyone's just going to be inconsistent underneath them. It's a possibility. We'll see. Let me know your thoughts down there in the comments. It's a busy one this week. 3-game week. So we'll try and get the predictions in with Sam at some point on Monday. I'm also doing the Sportsman podcast on Monday. I'll also be on Blue Monday tonight as you're watching this with Craig and Dave talking Ipswich 2, Pompey 1. And then we should be, I think it's a double watch along this round. I think it's Tuesday night we plan to be doing Derby Charlton and then QPR Oxford on Wednesday. And then hopefully Wrexham Birmingham on Friday. And we'll try and speak to Sam as well on Thursday for some more predictions and hopefully a bit of a read on this mad 3-game week. And then after all that, weekend round, East Anglian Derby. And we go back to an international break. And after a big flurry, it's all going to stop. So it's going to be busy. And then there's going to be nothing. So enjoy it while it lasts, this 3-game week. Get your views down there in the comments on what your team did. And, where is this season going? Everything still seems very, very unanswered, which for someone with a brain like me, I want to know what I think is going on and have theories about it. It's a bit unsettling. But, hey, keeps things interesting, and that's one thing you can say about the Championship. it's always pretty bloody interesting. Thank you for watching. Thumbs up down there. Subscribe if you haven't already. See you for Blue Monday tonight. Sportsman tomorrow, and Sam with the predictions as well. Watch along. Tuesday night, Derby versus Charlton.